Hidden inside the barrel of a firearm is a quiet engineering detail that changed warfare, hunting, and modern ballistics forever. Rifling, the spiral grooves cut into a gun barrel, is what allows bullets to fly straight, travel farther, and hit with precision. This video breaks down exactly what rifling is, where it came from, how it evolved, and why it matters, not just historically but ethically as well. All that and more, right here on History of Simple Things. At its simplest, rifling means cutting helical, spiral grooves into the inside of a firearm's barrel. In other words, instead of a smooth tube, the barrel has raised lands and recessed grooves running in a spiral from breech to muzzle. When a bullet is fired through that barrel, it gets forced by these lands and grooves to spin around its long axis. That spin is the magic. It stabilizes the bullet in flight, much like how a quarterback throws a football with a tight spiral. A spinning bullet resists tumbling, so it flies straighter, faster, and farther than an unspun one. In fact, one source notes that rifling imparts spin onto a projectile, giving it greater stability as it flies, which translates into higher velocity, longer range, and far better accuracy. In contrast, a smoothbore gun, no rifling, just shoots a bullet that wobbles and slows down sooner. Rifling basically transforms a wobbly shot into a laser-straight one. The diagram above shows a cross-section of a rifled barrel. You can see the spiral lands, high spots, and grooves, cuttings. As a bullet is driven down this barrel, the lands bite into it and force it to rotate. That gyroscopic stabilization keeps the bullet on target even hundreds of meters away. Without rifling, a bullet would tumble in flight like a poorly thrown football. In real life, the difference is night and day. A rifled rifle can hit precise targets at long range, whereas an old smoothbore musket could only spray shots broadly at short range. Interestingly, the concept of spinning a projectile for stability is much older than guns. Medieval archers and crossbowmen discovered that twisting the fletching on an arrow or bolt made it fly much straighter. They would often wind feathers in a helical pattern so the arrow would spin in flight, stabilizing it just like rifling does for a bullet. It's not too surprising that someone thought, hey, why not try that with gunpowder and metal? Yet even with this simple idea, the exact origin of rifling is a bit of a mystery. In fact, historians still debate who first invented rifling. No single gunsmith can claim a patent. One firearms historian notes flatly, nobody knows where, when, or why rifling came into being. We do have clues, though. By the late 1400s, some European gunsmiths were already cutting grooves. A Viennese gunmaker named Gaspard Kollner is credited with early rifled barrels around 1495, and records show rifles with grooves in Augsburg, Germany, by 1498. These very early attempts may have even had straight cuts before innovators thought to make them spiral. Then, around 1520, a German gunsmith named Augustus Cotter in Nuremberg reportedly created one of the first true spiral rifled barrels. Whether Cotter invented it or just improved on the idea, his work shows the idea was spreading. In short, by the dawn of the 16th century, several European gunsmiths in Austria and Germany were independently experimenting with rifling. It took inspiration from arrows. As one blog recounts, archers and crossbowmen had long fletched their arrows in a helical pattern to impart spin, and applying that insight to a gun barrel gave rifles their accuracy. In other words, rifling was an idea whose time had come, born from watching arrows fly. But it was also painstaking. Back then, each groove had to be carved by hand into the hardened metal barrel. Early rifled barrels were incredibly difficult to make, so they were experimental oddities for centuries rather than the norm. Because hand-cut rifling was so labor-intensive, most armies stuck with simple smoothbore muskets for generations. Smoothbores were cheap and fast to produce in bulk. Rifles, on the other hand, had to be individually crafted. For example, the famous American Kentucky or Pennsylvania long rifles of the 1700s had very long barrels with hand-cut rifling. These guns could shoot accurately far beyond a typical musket, but each rifle took a gunsmith many hours to build. In the image above, you can see a collection of early Kentucky rifles. Notice the long, thick barrels. Each land and groove inside those barrels was painstakingly carved by a craftsman. That's why these rifles were expensive hunting pieces or used by elite sharpshooters, not standard infantry weapons. By the 1700s and early 1800s, rifled firearms were still rare in military use. Britain didn't adopt its first official rifle until 1800, the Baker rifle, and even then it was issued only to specialist units. American forces used long rifles during the Revolutionary War, and British riflemen appeared in the Napoleonic Wars, but these were exceptions. Despite being invented around the 1500s, rifling took centuries to become practical for large armies. That changed in the mid-19th century. Early rifles were accurate but slow to reload, making them risky in combat. In 1849, French inventors introduced the Minié ball, a bullet that expanded when fired, gripping the rifling while remaining easy to load. This single innovation allowed soldiers to fire faster without sacrificing accuracy. The consequences were immediate. During the American Civil War, rifled muskets dramatically increased range and lethality. Manufacturing improvements soon followed, making rifled barrels cheaper and faster to produce. By the late 1800s, smoothbore weapons were largely obsolete, and rifling had become the global standard for firearms. Rifling is the foundation of modern firearm accuracy. Spinning a bullet stabilizes it in flight, allowing it to travel farther and strike predictably. This principle enabled long-range marksmanship in both military and civilian contexts. Modern high-velocity bullets depend entirely on precise spin, and even large weapons, including some artillery and tank guns, use rifled barrels. Nearly every modern firearm relies on this simple spiral cut into steel. But this power demands responsibility. Firearms are not abstractions or curiosities. They are tools capable of ending lives. Ethical firearm use means restraint, training, and respect. A gun should always be a last resort for self-defense, never a first response. Avoiding conflict, de-escalation, and seeking help must come before force whenever possible. Responsible ownership also means following the law, receiving proper training, and storing firearms safely. Guns should be unloaded, locked, and kept separate from ammunition to reduce accidents and misuse. Rifling may be an engineering triumph, but it exists within real human consequences. Rifling might seem like a small detail hidden inside a barrel, yet it reshaped history. From early European gunsmiths to modern firearms, those spiral grooves turned crude weapons into precise instruments. Understanding rifling means understanding both human ingenuity and the responsibility that comes with it. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other bingeable channels. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.